Jupiter doesn't kill you the way you'd expect. There's no explosion, no dramatic collision, no single moment where you can point to what went wrong. It's quieter than that. And somehow, that makes it worse. Most people picture space as the danger, the vacuum, the cold, the emptiness. But Jupiter isn't empty. Jupiter is the opposite of empty. And the moment you get close enough to realize that, you're already gone. Here's what no one tells you about the largest planet in our solar system. It doesn't have a surface. You could fall into Jupiter for hours and never land on anything. Just pressure. Just heat. Just a planet slowly crushing you into something unrecognizable. But that's not even what kills you first. Let's start with the radiation, because most visualizations skip this part entirely, and it's the reason even our best spacecraft have to be engineered like radiation bunkers just to survive a flyby. Jupiter has a magnetic field. That sounds harmless. Earth has one too. But Jupiter's magnetosphere is the largest structure in the entire solar system. It's so massive, if you could see it from Earth, it would appear larger than the full moon in our sky. And trapped inside that invisible fortress is a belt of charged particles moving at nearly the speed of light. The moment you enter that zone, not Jupiter itself, just the space around it, you're being hit by radiation doses that would give a human being a lethal exposure within minutes. Not hours. Minutes. Your electronics die first. Then your biology starts falling apart at the cellular level. DNA strands break. Organ systems begin to fail. And you feel almost nothing because radiation doesn't announce itself. You'd be dying before you knew you were in danger. But let's say somehow you survive the radiation. Let's say you're wearing something impossibly advanced. Some future suit that absorbs every particle, blocks every wave. You've solved the radiation problem. Now you have to deal with what's actually waiting for you beneath those clouds. From a distance, Jupiter looks almost peaceful. Those iconic orange and cream bands, the swirling colors that look like paint dropped in water. There's a reason it's been called beautiful by every astronomer who's ever studied it. But those bands are not weather in any sense you understand. The winds inside Jupiter's cloud layers move at over 600 kilometers per hour. That's nearly twice the speed of the most violent hurricane ever recorded on Earth. And unlike Earth's storms, which are powered by surface heat and ocean moisture, Jupiter's winds are driven from within, by the planet's own internal heat, which is greater than the heat it receives from the sun. The Great Red Spot, that famous storm you've seen in every space documentary, is a single storm system that has been continuously rotating for at least 350 years. It's so large, you could drop the entire Earth inside it and still have room. You would enter those clouds and be shredded by forces your body has no framework to process. But even that isn't the most disturbing part. Keep going deeper, past the clouds, past the winds, and something genuinely strange starts to happen. Jupiter is made mostly of hydrogen. That's a gas. Completely familiar. But as you descend, the pressure builds so enormously that the gas stops behaving like a gas. It becomes liquid, a vast, churning ocean of liquid hydrogen with no surface, no floor, no beginning, no end. Just pressure that increases with every kilometer you fall. Your suit, the one that blocked radiation, that somehow withstood 600 km/h winds, begins to compress. Then the hydrogen itself seeps into everything. The chemistry around you becomes alien, and you're still falling. Deeper still, something even stranger waits. At a certain depth, the pressure becomes so intense that hydrogen stops being liquid and starts conducting electricity. It becomes metallic. This is called metallic hydrogen, a state of matter that doesn't exist anywhere on Earth's surface and can only be created in laboratories for fractions of a second. Inside Jupiter, it exists in an ocean thousands of kilometers thick. This ocean of metallic hydrogen, spinning with the planet, is what generates that monstrous magnetic field that was already killing you before you even arrived. Jupiter isn't just a dangerous place. Jupiter is a machine, a self-contained system of destruction operating at a scale that makes human engineering look like a child's sketch. Here's something that reframes everything. When our solar system was forming 4.5 billion years ago, Jupiter's gravity was so powerful that it fundamentally shaped which planets could even exist. It flung asteroids outward. It prevented an entire planet from forming in what is now the asteroid belt. Some scientists believe that without Jupiter acting as a gravitational shield, Earth would have been struck by enough large asteroids to make complex life impossible. The planet that would kill you without a second thought may also be the reason you exist. That contradiction is real, and it sits at the center of everything we understand about our solar system. But here's where the story gets unsettling again. Jupiter's gravitational influence doesn't only protect, it also redirects. And there are researchers who believe that Jupiter has, on multiple occasions throughout history, aimed asteroids toward the inner solar system rather than deflecting them away. A guardian that occasionally turns on the things it's supposed to protect. The line between protector and predator in the context of Jupiter is not clearly drawn. The Galileo probe, one of NASA's most ambitious missions, was deliberately sent into Jupiter's atmosphere in 2003. Not to land, not to explore, simply to measure what it could before the planet destroyed it. It survived 58 minutes. In those 58 minutes, it recorded winds, pressure, temperature, and chemical composition before the increasing pressure finally crushed and vaporized it entirely. 58 minutes. And it wasn't even close to reaching the metallic hydrogen layer. It didn't even get deep. That probe, built by some of the most advanced engineering institutions on Earth, lasted less than an hour before Jupiter simply absorbed it. You, in any suit ever designed, would last seconds. There's one more layer to this, and it's the one that lingers. Jupiter is still contracting. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the planet is shrinking under its own gravity. As it does, it releases heat. This internal heat is why the storms never stop, it's why the winds never calm, it's why the radiation belts never weaken. Jupiter is not a finished object, it is a process. A slow, ongoing gravitational collapse that generates energy continuously, that will keep generating it for billions of years to come. In another universe, with just a little more mass at formation, Jupiter might have ignited. Become a second star. Our solar system would have been a binary system, and Earth, if it existed at all, would have been locked in a gravitational dance between two suns. It missed that threshold by a factor of about 80. 80 times the mass of Jupiter would have been enough. It fell short by that margin, and instead of a star, we got a planet. A planet so extreme, it barely qualifies for the category. So here is what you are left with. Jupiter is a radiation trap, a wind machine, a pressure crusher, and a gravitational force that shaped the architecture of everything you've ever stood on. It protects life on Earth and threatens it simultaneously. It generates states of matter that shouldn't exist. It destroyed a purpose-built NASA spacecraft in under an hour. And it's still out there right now, larger than everything else in the solar system combined, slowly pulsing with its own internal heat, pulling everything in the neighborhood slightly toward it with every second that passes. You wouldn't survive 1 minute near it. But the more unsettling truth is this. In some very real sense, you wouldn't be here at all without it. And that's the kind of thing that keeps scientists, and anyone paying attention, staring at the sky just a little longer than they planned.